All right, there we go.
Okay, off we go. Welcome everyone. Open session of planning. I don't think we've anyone here from the public, so we can skip past that bit. Item 60. Meeting's being recorded. Does anyone wish to make a separate recording? No. Item 61. Apologies for absence.
We circulated apologies and reasons for absence earlier this evening from Councillor Dixon, and retrospective apologies, which I didn't circulate around, apologies, I should have done that, from Councillor Ramsey from the 18th of August. And I think we've had a message by Councillor Firth for the 15th of September Zoom meeting as well.
Right, okay. Are we happy to accept those?
No.
Item 62. Members and officers' personal undisclosable pecuniary interest in items on the agenda. Does anyone have any interests?
No.
Item 63. Written request for new DPIs.
No, none received this time.
Item 64. To consider whether items on the agenda should be discussed in private session. I have one that I think we should, and that we're covering under matters arising.
So that would be item 65, updates from the previous minutes.
Yes.
Everybody okay?
Oh, we're okay with that one.
Okay. So before, I've got two things to update on in that item. So before I go into private session, the first item is that I've received notification about a drop-in meeting tomorrow evening about the Homeforth Town access works. It will be at 5 p.m. at the library tomorrow evening. That's the 7th of October. If anybody wanted to attend that as part of the ongoing.
I can't believe that.
Okay. And I'll turn the camera off for a second.
Okay, item 66 then. First part, to note the list of Kirklees planning applications updated with the views of the committee. Can we note those please? Note the list of Kirklees planning applications as per those dates there. Again, note them.
Yeah.
2. To consider new or amended applications received from Kirklees Council on the enclosed lists. Before we just go to that, can I do the next point? This pre-application letter regarding a proposed upgrade to existing radio base station.
Can I make a point on that before? I did go back to them and say that the 14 days was nowhere near enough, and that I would put it into this meeting, and if there were any comments I would forward them, but I don't know whether they will take them on board given that they gave us such a short time.
I don't know whether people look to say this is in Honley, it's
Yeah.
an existing.
Stations.
I think they're just sticking an extra bit on top of it.
Yeah, there's another piece going on top of the current.
But it seemed pretty. I don't think I wish to make any comment on it anyway.
My thought was how many people would notice.
I thought at first it was a new one, but
Yes.
it's existing, so I think I'm happy just to not make any comment on that.
Yeah.
Everyone okay with that?
Yes, certainly.
So, back to the new list. So, I think we're only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First one is number 5. Oakfield House in Netherton. I didn't notice it, by the way, again, all the ones that we're flagging up, they're all green bells again. Are we getting more green belt applications, or is it just me that's noticing
I
that?
think there seems to be an increase, whether it new people moving into old houses in the green belt.
I think why don't we just buy a bigger house?
Or we're going to make our mark on our new house.
Anyway, first one, this number 5, Oldfield House in Netherton. Anybody want to kick us off on this?
It was I mean, I thought the application was quite good. There's no climate change statement, which I thought was,
It's probably a bit pointless for a listed building, isn't it? It's probably like a windy old, you know what I mean, so.
But you can always say something.
yes.
And I've probably just forgotten.
I thought it sort of generally improved the building.
Yes, I mean, they're replacing wooden sash windows with wooden sash windows and actually double glazed windows as well.
There's only one thing I thought perhaps we ought to flag up was this neighbour's comment about the window being, it needs to be obscured, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And perhaps we may comment that there should be a climate change statement.
Yes, I mean, even if it's only a very superficial one, at least they should go through the pretense of going through it, don't they?
I'm happy to support us.
Yeah.
Support that needs a climate change statement
And the obscure lights.
and obscure lights.
Next one, number 7, Beddistle Head Farm in Hepworth. Demolish existing buildings and put up a new one. This is one that's been around before. And he put no comment on it last time. Because this is a green and grey belt sort of.
Right, so I know this location because it's at the bottom of my lane. So it's an old homestead that was rented out as a tenancy farm for like a few years. And then Mr. Golden's bought it and he's renovating all the buildings, so taking the roofs off, and because you can see it when you ride past. The thing is that he is like investing in these old dilapidated buildings, so I think we should really, if he's not encroaching, because it would be a farmyard, wouldn't it? What was a farmyard? It's not building on a greenfield site or a green location.
I mean, it seems really odd, doesn't it? Because as I read it, they've got the previous planning permission for 3 dwellings, and now they're scrapping, and that was only this year.
Yeah.
And now they're scrapping it for one dwelling.
They seem to go through this sort of process, don't they? They get the permission for something they don't want and establish a fallback and then say, well, this is what we really want, but if you won't give it to us, we're going to go to the fallback.
Yeah, and it will be sorted out.
You would expect them to do it the other way around, wouldn't you? That we want one house, but we'll go through one house first and the 3 houses later.
Yeah, but the secret about planning is you always ask for more than you want and then reduce it, so maybe they didn't plan on getting that. No idea.
Excellent.
I mean, again,
But I
there's
do
no,
know, I obviously do know that they've recently procured this thing and that they are quite moving.
A couple of things that stood out to me was the roof and material. Perhaps it's just me, but zinc doesn't seem an appropriate material in that setting. It should be stone slate, personally.
yes.
But after my roof moved this weekend, I would highly recommend stone
Yeah.
And also wall straps every half a metre and not every 3 metres.
And there's some windows, I think in the gable end, I think with huge windows, which again doesn't look right somehow, but perhaps that's just me.
Cracking views though.
Yeah.
It'll look all over to Castle Hill, won't it?
Hence the big windows.
Yeah.
There was no climate change statement. Somehow they've got it mixed up because when you click on the climate
You
change statement,
get the geological report.
I wonder if they've
Yes,
uploaded it
yeah.
wrong there.
Yeah.
It'll be a
actually
planning
when you read through the text, it actually seems quite good because they're talking about having source heating and solar panels.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any argument with that, but it just seemed a bit odd that not need one.
Mm.
I thought the geological survey was brilliant, I thought.
Well, the coal authority is saying they need this intrusive survey, aren't they? They're gonna have to drill borehole, but
It's all old mines up there, old coal mines, and above that is the quarry that we gave quarrying rights to. You know when we renewed some quarrying rights about 8 months ago?
Yeah.
That quarry is directly behind, so it'll be quite interesting to see what that coal report comes in at. Because when we put our wind turbine up, if our wind turbine's here, there is, the house is here, the wind turbine's here, this is the back of the field, there's a drift mine that goes there. So originally we were going to put wind turbine there, but the solicitor said it's going to fall about 700 feet, so you might as well leave it there.
well, we need to figure out.
So it's all very interesting up there, you know, like, but I did buy some fields once up there that had no mining in ever, which was a miracle. The solicitor was quite shocked.
So, what do we wish to do with this one?
I think we should support it.
Yeah,
Do you want me to flag up that the climate change statement link is
Wrong.
right?
yeah, we have to, I've no issues with that, but
I think a mention of the roof wouldn't go amiss.
I think it'd be more in keeping with that place.
So,
Being stone select.
would
It might be cheaper to put zinc on though, it
Yeah.
might be cheaper to put copper on. Prices slave. And also, you've got to remember that they don't actually have Yorkshire slates anymore, they are shipped in from India. So technically, there probably is less environmental impact on zinc.
It'd be a bit heavy though, and it won't blow away.
I'm not kidding, it will bite. I've lost a tree today.
Okay, next one, item 8, Dean Lane Farm in Hepworth. 2-storey extension.
Yes.
Objectionable, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, their climate change statement was actually quite good, that they're aiming to go 10% better than building regs, which I thought was a good indication.
I didn't like them.
We won't need to watch this play with Virgin on.
Too many windows in the gable end for me, but that's probably his means.
Yeah, it's the views that was
Yeah,
exhibited.
and it's a modern sort of thing, isn't it? So,
It'll pass.
yeah, I have no objection to that. Am I right, Mr. Gordon?
It is quite hard to do anything in Epworth, isn't it? 'Cause there's just nothing, nowhere to build, although the last one.
Number 12 then, Stone Courting Holloway. Extensions. It's actually a big extension.
Yeah.
I thought that the existing buildings quite quirky and yeah. And sticking, I mean, the extension seemed totally out of the wrong style and the wrong size, and you know, taking down one of those chimneys that are an interesting feature. I to see that was huge in relation to the existing building, and there wasn't the planning statement. So
No.
there's really no argument as to why there was just a whopping extension.
They didn't seem to acknowledge it was in Greenbelt at all.
No.
And I guess they don't have to do, do they?
Well,
Not for extension.
I suppose it's already existing, but it depends, doesn't it? I suppose if it's in the domestic curtilage, then you can't really do anything, can you?
You'd think
You
they'd
should know,
acknowledge it.
Mr.
wouldn't you?
Ransby. What's yours?
Well, I mean, I think you would acknowledge it, but the fact that you've got that sort of little ribbon development of completely unrelated buildings that are all built in different styles.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm happy to go with majority.
you know,
I'm sort of on the fence with this. I think really about it.
Can we refer to officer's decision then?
That's a cop out. Isn't it?
Well, well, throw your acting
Yep.
ring then.
Do you feel strongly enough that it's, I
I
suppose,
felt-
what's
I
our
felt
argument?
I felt quite strong, you just destroyed the whole coherence of the existing building, it's huge in relation, but no, if it's too huge, no problem.
I was going to say that
Planning
you know,
officers will do the calculations, so.
I don't think it's a big
Oh, my God.
extension.
it is a big extension.
I'll say it for him.
How is it? What's your thoughts?
Cassie brought it here.
Yeah, because you noticed.
Unsure.
I'm going to go to oppose then.
Both?
Fair enough, yeah.
Yes,
Well, no one's saying, I think they should have it, are they more negative than positive, so I suppose if that's the way.
I mean, I would have expected, well, we could put this in the response, expected a planning statement, I mean, if it's in green, because it's in green belt.
Yeah.
At least some references that it's in green belt.
Planning statement required for Greenbelt, and you feel like it's upscale?
Yes.
Yes, it's not, it's dominant, yeah, the extension's dominant, it's not
And
sort
it
of,
removes, it
as
removes
in not subservient to it.
And ask them to check the
Completely.
planning permission ratio.
and it removes the chimney, doesn't it, which is a
Yeah.
I presume the planning officers will
They'll
do their maths to find out what percentage it is, but it does look at exceedingly large extension.
And lots of chimney.
Yeah, lots of feature.
The last one then, 13, Upper Home House Farm in Cumberland. This is for stables, garage and menage.
Well, I thought the email from the ecology unit sort of, I think, summed up my thoughts, that with all those safeguards, I would be quite happy for them to get an approval on that basis.
Can I just say that the equestrian facilities in the valley are really only if you don't have your own arena at Homley, which means you have to box, or up by me at Broadstones, which means you have to put your horse in a box and take it in the car wherever it's going. I do think that, you know, they do cost a lot of money. So for you to be investing in that, it's usually local people who are doing the work. It's a nice thing for people like to do, and the majority of people now buy farms and old farmsteads and turn them into equestrian dwellings. So you know, it is a bit of a need really, and if you haven't got your own facilities at home, you do need to box your horse up and take it somewhere.
They have stables there now, don't they? It sounds as though they're falling down. So.
Yeah, but they don't look in that good a condition according to the photographs.
But you know, it's nice that people are invested in these things in the Hill Valley and using local suppliers for stuff like that. You know, an arena's like 50 grand. It's not a cheap investment. And stables are not cheap either, so, you know, I think we should encourage people.
Are we happy to support this?
Yeah. There is.
I just thought it was, the proposed buildings are much bigger than the existing building than the Salisbury. Not keen, although it's the majority, I feel strongly about it.
I think generally we've supported the question, haven't we, agricultural, that sort of falls under the same banner, doesn't it?
But then I was going to say it's having the openness of the green belt. Anyway, I'm fine, I'm
Okay.
to go. Yeah.
Okay. So, where have we got to? The application letter regarding a proposed upgrade to existing radio base station.
That one.
We've done that one.
Yeah.
Okay. But we haven't done 3 correspondence from a member of the public regarding diversion of Home Firth 6 public right of way at 70 Acre Farm.
Why is 70 Acre Farm always? Is this up at, is it up at the top by the airfield, 70 Acre? No, it's
No,
at Holmwood.
no.
It's never, never. Oh.
It's not Netherton.
No, it's
Yeah,
Holmwood.
Homely,
It's
yeah.
on Melton Road, I think.
Yeah, it is, it's at Holmwood, 70 Acre
Yeah.
Farm.
Without looking at all of the this I checked just to cast your minds back, this came in as a consultation on moving the public right of way a few weeks back, maybe even a few months back, and you didn't comment on it at the time because it was quite a minor diversion to the existing path, I believe.
Mhm.
A member of the public has since written to us to say that to make us aware of his opposition to it, I think, and to see whether.
And he's asking if we want to oppose it as well.
I mean, the development has been, it's been approved, hasn't it? It's 10 houses, however many it is. And if it hadn't, there'd be no point moving the path, but it seems now sensible that it's going to go ahead and be built. To absolutely insist that it follows exactly the line of the ancient. It's just next to it, isn't it, really? And to separate the vehicles from walkers and the horses, it seems to be a good idea. So I'm
It's
not
sort
sure
of-
whether we should.
It's got the capacities to be another footpath 6, hasn't it? Almost.
Well, not
It's
really,
not-
because if you've
I
got
don't think
one
so.
person out of hundreds of people that ride in Conway, and I'm on a Kirklees bridal group and I haven't seen anything about it, so I did.
I mean, essentially, the right of way runs up to what was the farm. It predates the farm.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
They're now converting the farm into 10 dwellings. They want to move the right of way literally a road's width further across.
Yeah.
So the road becomes access for the new houses, and the new right of way runs parallel to it. Which you think, where's the harm in that? You know, I can't see as it makes a
Yes.
big difference.
It's not as if it's moving the thing 100 yards.
The only slight thing I noticed was, it might be just artist's impression, but the way they've drawn it's like an artist's impression, they've shown trees or shrubs down the side of it, and there's some sort of a pond there or something that's all now surrounded with trees, so if that's how it ends up, then you could argue they've lost the view of the footpath, but
You're not entitled to a view,
No.
you're just not though,
No.
so.
I think for a footpath it might be.
No, you're not.
No, there's no.
So it's the
equal
openness
right
of
to
the-
it.
No.
Anyway, that's the only thing I noticed, but to be honest, it just seems sensible to move it and separate them.
Well, they could argue to close it. Like, if they're just offering to move it. You know, they could say, we've seen one horse in 18 months ride this bridle path. You know, like I have a bridle path that goes along the back of my house, and a footpath that goes in front of the kitchen windows. You're just like, who cares? Do you know what I mean? As long as you don't lose them, does it really matter?
I wouldn't have thought this was an issue that we should make a battle on. It's such a minor one
Yeah.
that I think you just fine.
Well, it's down to Kirklees to make it a permanent change. It's like, they don't pay attention when we tell them all sorts of stuff, do they? They're not really bothered about a 100-metre move.
I don't think there's anything there that warrants us making any comment.
Let's stick with our previous position.
I was still with the previous decision, it was right at the time of the information we were given.
Would you like me to write back to the Conservative Party to let them know that you haven't just that you haven't
Yeah.
commented on this issue?
We've discussed it and decided
We decided to stay with our previous position.
Okay, and then the next one was notice of appeal on an application. And this is the one in Homebridge, which I think has been round twice now at least, and it's been rejected on both times by Kirklees as an inappropriate development in Greenbelt, and he's now appealing. Don't think there's anything more I want to say. We've opposed it both times. Do we wish to get involved with the appeal in any way?
Yeah.
Yeah, we closed it.
I just need to note it.
And we had about 3 or 4 reasons for opposing it, so we stick with them.
Yeah.
Because that would have gone in, wouldn't it, as part of the
They
document,
pulled
all
one of the
documentation.
documentations.
I was surprised you appealed it.
Well, you know, some people like flogging a dead horse.
So So to consider any further actions, I don't think there's any further to discuss. Item 67, Peak District. Not much to say, is there?
I've had an exciting email this week from the district.
Going to be an application.
So next time, I think.
Forgot now to look them up then.
I am going on Saturday to the Peak District Parishes meeting.
What's going on?
Parish Day.
Where's all your applications?
It's, you remember we fed back their initial consultation on
And they're really nice
on the really
documentation.
nice yes, on their really nice documentation. So it's going to be feeding back about that. So it should be really quite interesting. And what the next move, is. They do seem to be moving more swiftly than Kirklees, but maybe they're subject to different regulations. Maybe they're not in quite the same impasse and not receiving whatever the wherewithal from the central government, which seems to be the issue with Kirklees.
An interesting comparison though, isn't it?
It will be interesting.
Mm.
Yeah, so,
Mm.
yeah. Worth the trip to Bakewell.
It's always worth going to be.
It's so lovely, isn't it, Bakewell?
Yeah.
Item 68, Planning Subcommittee on Planning Application Terms of Reference. Those were appended.
Yeah, last time, you gave me quite a lot of amendments to do, so I did the amendments and then sort of here's your maybe final version, or so any more tweaks, or are you happy to adopt this one?
I guess that's the question, are we happy adopting them?
Yeah.
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 Fine, thank you.
Thank you. And to note the subcommittee meetings. So the next one is 37. Sounds a lifetime away, doesn't it?
We've got a November full meeting, full planning meeting first, so the next meeting is November.
Yeah.
And then the next Zoom meeting is December.
How's it worked out like that?
We've got
No,
two
no.
in a row.
Oh, I thought it was a Zoom meeting today, hence why I've been slightly late. 'Cause I thought, right, I've got this to do, then I'm doing this to do, and then go. Now I'm like,
Budget is the answer.
Okay. So we have another meeting like this in November.
Yeah.
Okay. And we must have a practice for the Zoom, for my benefit.
Yeah, we should log in beforehand this time.
Item 69, traffic calming. So, following the meeting of the planning committee 18th of August, a letter from the committee regarding SID placement has been sent to the Kirklees councillors for Humberley North and South. We've had an email return from Councillor Greaves, who seems to be taking it up with officers. I haven't had any feedback from that. So
That's all I've heard as well, I think.
I have spoken with Councillor Brooke, who is also doing a similar thing for the Home Valley South. So I might get some sense soon. He also, I don't know, I'm reporting on this further on. No. Councillor Brooks also suggested another location for the Home Valley South camera. Can I talk about this at this point? No reason why I can't, is there? I mean, if you remember, at the last full council, I asked all councillors if they'd submit their ideas for where we might site these things. I've had a suggestion back from Councillor Whitelaw, which actually mirrored what I was thinking when I put Hayed Edge. And I've had one from Councillor Brooke, which is the approach down Station Road in Holmfirth, near the Cornhouse Cafe. So we have one more location to find for our Home Valley South, but we've still got 7 to find for the Home Valley North. No one's come forward with anything for that.
Can I suggest the A616? At the top of the A616 is the boundary road, where the Victoria Crossroads are, because we have about, and this crossroads is close to me, but we have about 11 accidents at that crossroads a year. And I noticed today that most of the signs that Barnsley Council did, these whizzy signs that work on wind, at the crossroads, you know, to slow the traffic down, and every one of them is at 45 degrees today because of the wind speed. But it's an excessively fast road, and I know it's a national speed limit road, but people come up there in the summer, past the chapel at the top of Hepworth at Barnside, and they roll to the other side of the road. And I have raised this before with Kirklees about 11 times, that none of the road signs, you can actually read what the warning signs are anymore because they're that weathered. So I ride down that road, and if my horses weren't absolutely amazing in traffic, I would be dead, because the road is so fast. It's a very, very fast road, and because it's the boundary road, like the Beddinage road that I live on, Woodroyd Hill Road is a Barnsley road, then this road down towards Hepworth is a Kirklees road, and then that one is a Barnsley road. It's like no man's land.
From the crossroads, obviously the one going down towards Epworth is Kirklees.
Yeah,
The one going up to you is Barnsley.
is Barnsley,
And obviously the one to the company is
Barnsley, and then the one to the arena is Barnsley. The one to
There's
the
only
Fox
that
House.
one road that
Yeah.
you could put a camera on.
Yeah.
The other limitation there is street lamp.
No, there is a street one.
Is a lighting column. If there is, we can
There
probably
is a
do it.
street one.
I mean, I know we've been told, oh, you've got to have a street lamp to get out from. I can't remember where I was in this country in the last 8 weeks, but there was a SIG that was solar powered.
Yes, there's a few in the Lake District, and see those regularly.
Well, those ones
They
there,
don't
wind
rely on any of it, on needing to be on a laptop.
Those three that Barnsley put up because of the accidents, they've been up about 15 years now. I looked at them today and thought, right, I need to speak to Hannah Kitchen about getting those wind vanes fixed, because they do work, they do slow the traffic down. Do you know what I mean? But going down that hill or coming up that hill is so fast that if we could slow it down slightly, even at the bottom as it comes into New Mill, the amount of people where the old Chase pub was, which was then Hepworth and now was a tea room and now is a house, all of the wall is out
Yeah.
because people walk up there and the whole wall has been taken out by cars. Every Saturday morning you go down to New Mill and there's somebody stuck in the wall. It's not good.
I hate cycling down there.
It's really dangerous, and it is a very good cycle route.
There's people who think their driving standards are better than the actual
The
reality.
road is so slippery.
I think, sort of summarising that leaves us potentially filling the last 3 slots for the Hon Valley South one. What we need is another 7
What
for the
about
Hon
Bradshaw
Valley.
Road up Honley? You know, that's a nice straight road, isn't it?
I think by the looks of things, it's going to come down to the planning committee to find these. I don't think anyone else is going to come forward now. Councillor Brooke has said once we come up with a definitive list, he'll take it forward to Kirklees to get them enacted. So I'd like to take him up on that.
Can you remind me the first one that you mentioned before Corner Hills Campus?
Edge.
Hey, there, yeah.
Edge Road.
It'll be the Barnsley Road from Edge up towards. It is Barnsley. Penniston Road. It's called
Yeah.
Penniston Road. Because there's no point doing it through the village due to the fact that there's loads of sleeping police.
Yeah.
They're on
You
a,
can't get a 2 mile an hour up there.
they're on a different piece of paper.
Well, unless you're on
Yeah.
You're already taking
You
So-
think
so there's
duties
one on the Station Road,
they don't go up there, but I'll tell you something, I moved some sheep
approaching bridge.
in the tractor and
it
trailer
turns down to.
down that road, and I just thought, I'm not doing that again, we're horrific.
And then
So
the
we
other
came
bridge
out
just mentioned,
by the
616.
rugby club and went up the main road,
And then Hon Valley North Bristol.
in a
We'll
nice
see you in the second
1980s
place.
tractor.
Whereabouts on Alton Road? How's it?
Wonderful.
No, you've just
Just
said,
said Bradshaw Road.
Bradford Road as
Yeah.
well, yeah.
So Bradshaw Road is one.
Is there one at Oldfield?
You want some fast road?
well, perhaps I need to do it here and now, but I mean,
Just have a think
if you
around.
wouldn't mind going away and looking at Hull Valley North and potential sites.
And perhaps we should ask, perhaps we should ask the few councils we've got from them, you know.
I could ask again, yeah. I mean, one thought was
If
that,
you tell them we're picking, they'll then
Yeah,
tell us that what they want, won't they?
yeah.
the one I did think about was
Possibly.
just to have the camera on the other side of the road at Honley High School. It's a bit further
Yeah.
up,
Mm.
so catch them coming down.
Yes,
So
through
And what
our
about,
back entrance to the school,
Oh,
also they
okay.
come over down the turn.
coming down
around
across the
place.
station there.
Yeah.
Also by the railway station at Brockles, there's a
Oh.
school there, isn't there? Do you know that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because that's a fast road going up to Farnley.
yeah.
If we give them suggestions, Hill Valley North councillors, I'm sure they'll come up with some suggestions why they don't like it.
You're a silly Jack.
What was your
Served
first?
me so well.
What was that first one? That's your one.
I've got no line. Just have to, just have to put short line. You know you go up and then there's a dip. You've got the crossroad bit.
Where's it?
No line.
Where the Brockles or
No, this is
Honley?
this is Honley when you get into
Melton?
the crossroad where you turn that way to Netherthorne, that way to Wiltshire, Maltham.
Moor Lane, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, it's that crossroad,
Yeah.
but there's no line. No, I can't say it properly.
Because you're not from Yorkshire.
Oh
Get yourself to that dialect class.
no, thank you. Nine. Anyway.
The bit where Wolfstones Road comes now.
That bit. See, that Russell Road.
Oh yeah.
That bit there.
Oh yeah.
Because that's home.
That's not that's Bradshaw Lane, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's now,
Bradshaw-
it becomes now Lane for a short
Yeah.
stretch. doesn't it?
The dip bit. When you go down.
Yeah, I think that's, we're sort of talking about the same road there, but it's the other end of it.
Yeah.
What, same as Bradshaw?
Yeah, so Bradshaw Road, it only becomes Bradshaw Road when you get to the top of the hill. There's
Yeah.
no lane on the other side.
Yeah. That's what I'm
Have you been to
on.
Swaney
Yes.
Oh, you mean down to that crossroads?
Yeah, that's what I'm on about.
Yeah, I know that.
Where Wolfstones and
Yeah, because
Moor
that,
Lane.
that can be.
Where the hell is the town?
Yeah, that is.
There's only that one house, isn't there, on the right as you're going down there, I think. There's nothing there, is there?
There's one house
Yeah.
there and the other top is,
And then you've got those few houses.
And then you've got,
And you've got those new few houses, which are, it's weird. They're in Netherthorne, but they're actually doing
We got
North.
Swaney North.
It's weird. It's weird. Those three houses on oh, what do you call it? Anyway, when you're heading towards Wiltshire, you know when you turn, say from Wiltshire Road, and you turn there, those houses are newly built. They're in Netherthorne, but they're in Home Valley North.
Must be one or the other.
So they're in the Netherthorne, Netherthorne Parish Road, but they're in Home Valley North.
I won't worry about it. So, well, so we've got a few suggestions, haven't we?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. To note, a message from a member of the public regarding speed management on Greenfield Road. I sort of see where he or she was coming from, in so much as you're going from a 60 straight down to a 30 and you're going downhill.
But do brakes not apply?
No.
Yeah, but he also seemed to imply that he's lived around here for a bit.
Yeah, well,
And you
yes.
kind of think it's taken you by surprise after 30
Has
years.
it been false speeding?
Yeah, could be
Right
that.
then,
Could be
so
that.
That's good.
You might not see the 30 sign, but the fact you're entering a building area is
Yeah.
pretty obvious,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Coming
Well,
down?
now he's been on his speed awareness course.
I
Of what the highway code says.
We already have one of the SIDs on that location.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, once you get to the bus turnaround, you actually get good forward visibility that
Yeah.
there is a
Yeah.
30 mile
You,
an hour
you
limit.
do from that point, yeah.
It does
And
come to
that gives you at least a couple of hundred feet.
So what's the argument? He got caught with a reason and he didn't know. It was a 30.
Well, no,
he
it's-
sort of suggested
it
that
was-
there ought to be a 40
It
first.
was from going 60 to 30, you have to brake suddenly.
No, you don't. You don't.
But if you slow down.
And to be
slow
fair,
down, you
If you're
overtake
coming
things.
down the hill,
Yeah.
that road is exceptionally slippy
Mm.
and regularly there is a car in the wall.
Yeah.
So if you lived in the area, you would not be doing 60, would you? I don't do 60 down that road and I've lived here a long time. Due to the
And
fact-
you've been on the speed awareness.
I've been on four speed awareness courses. And if it hadn't been for COVID, I probably would have had my life.
They work then, Joe.
You can actually get a speed awareness course in South Yorkshire and West Yorkshire on the same day,
Oh.
because I managed it.
Roughly.
Yeah. I've got a travel to go to tomorrow. I've got a long travel tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right, see ya.
The,
Thanks, Andy. So we noted that.
Yeah.
To note a message from the member of the public regarding speed management on Rochester Road.
Rochester.
Yeah.
I think I know what's going on here.
Yeah.
Because they've made Holmfirth 20 mile an hour now, they've had to put a 30 mile an hour sign where it goes back to 30
On the Rochester.
on Rochester, and they're saying it shouldn't be 30 outside the school, but I mean it always has been.
Yeah.
Hang on there, I think. The bottom of the Rochester is not outside the school. There is a good 3/4 of a mile, 45-degree angle.
I'm not saying it's,
to that
I don't
school.
think I don't know where the 30 signs are, I don't see
It's
it.
the junction of Cemetery Road.
So it's a fair way up anyway.
Yeah.
So it's the third, so they put it onto Cemetery Road, the 30.
Yeah. No, it's just at the junction, so the Cemetery Road's in the 30 limit.
Right, yeah.
And sort of.
Up to the Rochester 30.
It's
and
actually not changed,
So
has
the
it?
bottom part of Rochester's 20.
What's everybody's whinge about traffic rules all of a sudden?
The thing is, it's difficult to do 30 going up Rochester Road.
How are you gonna, there's cars parked on this side, or
Yeah.
cars parked on that
You've got
side.
blind bend.
You've got a blind bench, a school, always somebody parked in someone's drive pulling out,
Yeah.
that car park.
Yeah.
You cannot get my Land Rover through there at 3 o'clock, there's absolutely no open else, so what?
I think it leads on to a sort of a wider debate, I guess, in the next item. So I think if we just note that.
Can I just ask, do you know, what happened with this one? Did somebody write to you and then did you pass it on to? Did you contact Hercules?
yes,
That makes sense to the.
I let them know how to contact Hercules because they obviously thought it was
Yeah.
something that we weren't looking after, but I did say that I would also bring it here to let you know.
I think it leads into the next item where we've been talking about contacting the person at Kirklees about the 20 mile an hour zone, particularly outside of school.
Which I agree with.
And that links into this one anyway.
Yeah.
doesn't it? Now, I don't know whether you remember the contact used to be Liz Twitchett.
Yeah.
Family remembered her name. Unfortunately, she's passed away.
Oh,
So, only a few weeks ago apparently. So,
she was very good,
helpful.
and that's what normally happens to people who are very good.
There hasn't been a replacement as yet, and the person I spoke to said there may not be, they don't know. She gave me two other contacts, which I can't remember now, but Gemini.
Yes, she did, and I can't remember off the top of my head, but I have emailed both of them and
Yeah.
have yet to receive a reply.
Can I suggest that we put a statement together for full council that we look at where the schools are and what the possibility of slowing the traffic down outside of schools is, because you can do it. They've done it in Millhouse Green in Penistone, taking it from a 60
Yeah.
outside of school down to a 30.
I think we actually did this, didn't we,
We
back
did, yes.
a couple of years ago, where we
That's quite a lot.
highlighted the schools where we
Yeah.
thought there was an issue, because some don't have a problem.
No way they
Home-
shouldn't have a problem.
Homeschool, You know, it's up a lane where it doesn't matter. But some clearly do have an issue. I mean, Upper Thorn, NAB that we've just been talking about.
I mean,
There's
Hayes,
like a
Hayes
national-
Road doesn't have a, I mean, it's difficult to do 20 on Hayes in front of,
So,
by the entrance to Hunferth High,
I mean, we could
No,
certainly
you
revisit
can't,
that.
it's like
but
Roger, isn't it? It's terrible there, you can't get 5 now.
We can revisit that, but I mean, we have already sort
If
of
you've already
established-
visited it then, I wonder if it's just worth when these new people come in having a conversation about whether we can make it a 20 mile an
Yeah,
hour.
I think it's, yeah.
I think it's a very good thing to be doing, and obviously, some people are whinging that it should go 60 to 40 to 20, whereas like other people are saying, well, it might have always been a 30 and people have never got above 5, but now we need it to be 20. So clearly some people's questions are valid, aren't they, and outside of school, it is valid for it to be 20 where we can make it 20.
I think for me, I'd like to firstly understand where Kirklees are with this. And supposedly in the process of doing it, but just where they are, I don't know.
Aren't they doing an assessment around all the schools,
Mm.
that it would take 30 years, would it? A very long time anyway to get, so they were looking at the schools, looking at the accident records and where the most accidents were,
Do you know what, that's such a crap.
which was mostly in
idea.
North Kirklees, obviously, well, assume that it would be. So, yeah, it would take a long time to get.
So basically, you've got to
I
have
think
a
we
kid run over before they're going to
That's-
make it a 20.
I think
It's not quite that.
I think the other thing perhaps we could consider is whether we actually lend our support in financial terms as well. If we think it, you know, it's warrants it.
Oh, well, how, although, to be
I don't
fair,
know what form that would take.
when they put them signs up at Edge, you would have thought they spent that much money on them, they could have bought half of Arrows. So just be careful when you say you want to lend your support, because it were a lot of money for, and every sign blew down.
Mm.
I mean, part of the other problem with changing street limits is
You've
the
got to leave them
legal
there.
notices which cost them,
You can't.
which are not set by Kirklees.
I think the first protocol is where are they in the
Find out
process?
where they are, because it was a project of theirs, wasn't it? So presumably we've done some, I don't know, possibly. Well, there is still doing survey, but
That's it.
yeah, find out where they've got to, that's. we
But
did
a
quite
lot of
big.
the schools in our area are pretty much de facto 20, aren't they? When you look at, as you say,
I'll tell you what we could do.
I don't
Just
think
buy
we
some
can plan
repeaters, put them up and see what happens. See if someone takes them down.
We could certainly prioritise a list of schools.
Do you know what I mean? I think that that's a better idea. Let's just seek forgiveness instead of asking permission. We've tried asking permission, it's not worked. Let's just put some repeaters up, see what
And
happens.
some 20 mile an hour signs.
I reckon we could get them off eBay. If some magic signs appear, that will have been me. I might just do that.
Action wise, what are we at?
Well, we still need to make contact with Kirklees, don't we?
Okay, so,
I don't know how much further we sort of,
Should
whether
we,
we can prompt this.
I'll chase up the ones that I have contacted and perhaps look into any alternative routes in.
You could ask Damien to ask.
I'll have a look at all our schools and come sort of suggest.
I think if we've done our work already, it must be there somewhere in the
It
history.
will be, I can
Mary
see,
will have
I
it.
can see if I can dig it out.
She will, see, told you.
I've probably got it somewhere. I'll try and dig it
I'll
out.
just read
And we'll revisit it, I think.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah,
And then you just let me know.
What, find places for you to stick poles with 20.
They don't need lights. It won't be a SID issue, will it?
Okay, I think we've done that one, haven't we? Item 70, ongoing highways campaigns. This essentially is Ramsden Road, connected roads, Cheesegate, now Scaly Gate.
Has anything changed? Because it don't look
Well,
so from my house.
The antisocial behaviour continues. I've had one of the locals at somewhere near Cheesegate contact me saying, what on earth happening, we're getting plagued by Motorbikes, I have asked twice now to Councillor Ryder to try and find out what's happening with the proposed TRO. She did say back in July that it was going to go back to Cabinet for a revised TRO, but she hasn't got a date then, and presumably she hasn't now because she hasn't replied. I've also been on to Will Acorn, Wales, the officer in charge, and he's not replied either.
Well, I love that about Kirkley, she can literally email them about all of them, just never ends.
So, not really very much to report other than the saga continues.
Would you like me to put something in the road?
2018 this started.
Oh, we're nearly up to 10 year then. We'll be able to have an anniversary. We're having a garden party to celebrate 10 years of nothing happening.
I don't know much, I can't add anything more to it.
Mm.
It's awful, I mean, particularly where I am at Ramsden Road, they've just spent £200,000 on repairing this, and they're allowing motorbikes to nick it.
But what is the logic in that, and where does the taxpayers' money, how is that value for money?
It's a bit of a long tail, except that the Pink Northern Footpath have been on to Kirklees many years now to try and get them to do something with these lanes, essentially get them to put a TRO on to stop vehicular access. They've consistently refused to do that, so Pink Northern said, well, if you're not going to do that, we're going to serve you a S56 notice which makes you repair it. They went to court with that. Kirklees didn't believe that they would be forced to repair it. They went to court and it went against Kirklees. They were told that they did have to repair it. So they've now come up with a 3-year plan for repairs. This is just on Amazon, costing £330,000.
Yeah, but they'd have
And
had no
they've done-
choice because it were a court summons.
Correct. So they've done the first 2 phases of that. There's a 3rd phase to do in the spring. And supposedly they were going to introduce a TRO to prevent any further
Yeah,
vehicular
they were going to
damage.
put gates up and get permits and stuff.
But then they've been challenged by one of the organisations, one of the 4x4 organisations, because they didn't do the consultation
Do
properly.
you know what it is all
So
the
we're
time?
back
It's
to
just
where we
like-
were in 2018.
It's just like an admin thing, isn't it, all the time? It's just like half the job all the
They
time.
were told all the way along, you're not doing the consultation properly. and they're still
Well,
carrying
you
on.
said that to him because they started the work and we were like, what's going on? Is it going to the quarry? What's happening? And it was the start of Ramsden Road and nobody had even been made aware of it.
So it's just a mess. It's
But the thing is though, it's a mess that's costing the taxpayer a lot of money.
Yeah. You know, the
So-
money's one thing and that's important, but I mean, what upsets me is the environmental damage.
Yeah.
I just hate to see it. I
Oh,
just think it's
you
dreadful.
see it all the time on that Ramsden Road group. I've got my Land Rover stuck, I've got my 4x4 stuck. Could someone send a tractor to pull me out? No, they can't send a tractor to pull me out. So,
I mean, we've had all sorts. You get burnt out vehicles, you get dumped vehicles, you get them going off the road and
There was a
taking the
caravan.
fields, they pull gates down, they pull walls down. It's never ending.
and well, Cheesegate now is a nightmare. You can't ride on it. It's not safe. It washes away. You can't get an ambulance down it. If the people who live on Cheesegate now, if they need any sort of emergency support, a fire engine, an ambulance, that is just not happening. A police car, we've just got nothing, and they are legally obligated to repair them roads. And I know that I've been having conversations with people, and they've just given up with me, and I'm like, I can't make Kirklees do anything about Cheesegate now. They just work. They did block it off with a massive boulder.
And they were called out on
And they were
that, so
called out on
that's-
that because once again, they haven't done the correct process. But how many times do you have to learn that when you put your fingers in the fire and they get burned, don't put your fingers in the fire. Just do it like turn the fire off, then put your fingers in the fire. Do you know what I mean? It's like basic logic thought processes, isn't it? You have to do a you are doing these things. There is only motorbikes that can get down, she's getting down now, anyway.
I mean, it is awful. I mean, my wife used to ride horse up there years ago. You've a job to walk up in there.
Yeah, you can't,
I don't
it's
think
not
go with
safe.
a horse.
It's not safe. And then people moan because you're on a main road at 70 miles an hour, but you've literally got nowhere to ride, it's just not safe.
I'm afraid, you know, I've nothing more to add. I keep trying and I keep,
I'll leave it here and start the editor.
I assume at some point someone will tell me something and I'll report back when they do.
Well, I wonder if it's worth asking the Peak Northern to also start on Tuesday now and Ramsden, as well as Ramsden Road.
It's a risky sort of a strategy because, you know, you could lose in court. So it's only the likes of Peak Northern that's got the financial clout to be able to say, we'll risk going to court with this.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, to take them one
So
shot.
they took them once on just one stretch, just to make the point, and the thoughts were that, well, we'll learn from this. Now they know that they're going to lose, but it seems not.
Maybe Peak Northern should say to Kirk, please let us do all the administrative work.
There are organisations that I know of and aware of that have offered to do it.
You know,
They've offered to do the TRO for them and they won't let them.
that's just stupid.
Well, let's just not say any more on that. Let's just leave it there on Mr. Ransby's comment on.
But I mean, when I first joined this council, what, 2 years ago, that list has come down. There used to be more big roads on it.
Yeah, a few have gone on and have come off, but some of them are like long-standing dinosaurs, aren't they?
This is how I got involved with the parish council. Anyway, moving along. Item 71. Planning, policy guidance and consultation. Nothing to say there? No updates?
Usually, nothing this time.
Item 72, design code. This is for the shop fronts, this one. And we've got a meeting Wednesday. So nothing much to say on it at the moment.
I may ask, I need to check with the deputy clerk tomorrow, because our meeting is Wednesday and I thought it was Thursday, whether he is in the office on Wednesday. Because if he is not in the office on Wednesday, then I need to be here. And could we have it here? But I will find out.
Well, good, yeah.
Assume
Well,
we
I'm
are
not buying
continuing,
coffee,
and that's fine.
Well, we're moving
I'll even buy some milk and we can have.
Are we changing the venue?
Possibly. If I let you know tomorrow when
That's
I've seen Rich.
Well, I'll bring cakes if we move it to here.
Where do you normally have it?
We were going to go to Totty's.
There isn't a Norway, this is the first one.
This is the first one.
Councillors wanted to change the scenery.
It's nice Totties, isn't it? My twins got christened, nobody got christened there. Got a christening thing there.
So anyway, for the next meeting, we should have something to say about that one. And ultimately, my thoughts are to try and involve all the councillors, get them involved in distributing these things.
Thank you, Gemma, for.
Yes.
There's an awful lot of.
It'd be very nice if it could be put to good use.
I think, you know, underpinning it, for my part, I'm determined that these don't just sit on a shelf somewhere. We need to get them out. You know, the work's being done, let's
Sarah on Whitelaw's in that business group, could she take them to the business group meetings?
There's various things, and we're going to cover all of that.
Yeah.
But I wonder, as a default position, that we sort of almost expect all councillors to do their bit in distributing these,
Yeah,
rather than just asking for volunteers. Just say, look, you know,
yes, I mean, they don't have to
These are
be
your
done in one
walks.
walk round, if, you know, it's. you can do it.
Yeah.
I might need a bit of.
You've got a big one.
yeah,
I'll walk
I'm
around
not
with you.
suggesting. It would be quite
I'm
like that.
officially unemployed now, so there you go.
I think, you know, there's a long list, 402, I think, at the moment.
Thereabouts, yeah.
But
And I'm sure I'll have missed some.
we can thin that out significantly and get it managed.
No, it'd be good to actually do something and finish it, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That's just, something that's totally under our control, so
Yeah.
we can do it.
So more on that next meeting. where are we? Item 73, Holmfirth Town Centre Group. Councillor's report on updates received. Don't think I've received any.
There is something, they're gonna have a meeting in the library once a week for an hour. Someone's gonna dare to stand in the
This is
library
one
for
you
an
were
hour.
We
talking
did
about,
mention
isn't
this
it?
already, yeah.
Yeah.
So the
This
first
one
one's tomorrow.
Yeah,
I can't make that, I don't know.
I might wander down, so. But it depends if.
I don't think we've had any actual updates to now, have we? I haven't seen
No.
No.
Item 74, Neighbourhood Development Plan.
That's me. The people putting it together have told me that they had a few weeks off because they're fed up with trying to proceed it down, and they promised me they'll have something ASAP. But yes, they did achieve a document which they told me about. I sort of went, how many pages? And my response to their answer was too long. So they're trying to get it down to no more than 4 pages. And I said, that's fine. But apparently it had got to about 10. And I just said, no, not good enough. Too many words. So hopefully I will be able to bring something to you.
Thank you.
I'm keeping on their back now. I'm being a bloody nuisance.
Item 75 then, Planning Standing Committee expenditure against budget. Not really much to say, is there? What's that?
I would like to drop in to say
Oh,
that the
okay.
next meeting will be where you discuss budget.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to kind of have some thoughts to bring to that meeting about what you might want to be funding next year. Obviously, there is money remaining in this year's. We have got till April, so it doesn't need to be spent up immediately. But if there's a plan for it, it can go into an EMR in the same way that things have in previous years. The money this time was intended to be related to the local plan review, I think. So if there's still expected to be expenditure attached to that, then you might want to put that in an EMR for that purpose. Or if you don't feel like you need the money to be spent in that year, then you can return it to general reserve at the end of the year. And then you think looking ahead as to what might be happening next year, what might need funds.
Of course, technically got the brain working. The local plan now is under full council, isn't it?
It is.
So
So
I guess
we
we
should-
wouldn't budget for it under planning.
No, we should put it back in the EMI reserves, we put it back in reserves, wouldn't we? So we won't need it.
I'm not saying we don't need it. I'm just saying.
No,
it probably
we wouldn't
form
need it
part
for
of
that
planning.
though, would we?
No.
You could put it potentially in an earmark reserve that sits under full council
Yeah.
rather than under planning.
There's nothing else that sort of strikes me at the moment, that we.
I suppose it depends how you're going to go with your shopfront plan. So, for example, in Horbury, when they have a shopfront design plan, what they do is they offer to subsidise if someone's changing a shop. So, for example, let me finish what we do in Horbury before you start pulling faces. I don't like spending money on them. I'm just making that clear. So, for example, Lick, the ice cream thing, has announced that they're closing. So, for example, if you've got a new resident that's moving in there, they would be now redesigning that shop again, wouldn't they? So they could come to the council for you could do 3 shops a year with a £500 budget to fall in line with your plan. So they could submit what they wanted, and you could, because they're falling in line with our plan, you could have £500 towards the. Do you know what I mean? Instead of, because we're asking them to invest in the frontage of their property for absolutely no benefit of them.
Am I right in saying Northam do this?
I'm not sure, I know Horbury do it in Wakefield.
I think I've read somewhere that Northam do.
I don't think it's an unreasonable request to, because where you can give them this all you want, but it ain't the law, is it? So it's a nice request, would you consider falling in line? I mean, like my dad lived in Pembrokeshire in St David's, and you had to paint your house one of 6 colours, and if it, I and they'd come and check, and they'd make you repaint it if it wasn't the right shade. So what I'm saying is, we haven't got that ability because we're not a national park. Yeah, we're in a conservation area, but we have no
So
control.
what you're saying is to
No, it's,
perhaps have a sum of money, say £1,500,
We could just do 3
To-
shops
to
a
do
year, you know what I mean?
three a
3
year.
shops a year, you know what I mean? Like towards 3 shops a year, we could make it a competition. We could make it, we have got this funding,
I mean, I think it's worth
or
exploring.
submissions or
It would be a
something.
grants programme in the same way
Yeah.
that like your
Definitely.
kind of
I think
parameters
it's
of
worth
what
exploring,
the
but
grants would be
it's
different.
thinking through, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm just
But
saying,
it'd be
look,
interesting to
I
see
wonder,
what
I wonder if
the-
I've got a friend on
Yeah.
Horbury Council to see if they, how they do it.
I'm just having another look at it, and say I have a feeling that Melton do this.
But all I'm saying is that, you know, we're asking them to conform, aren't we? We're not saying you have to do it, we're saying when you're thinking about doing it,
If you follow our guide, you're eligible for a grant.
yeah, and if you
Yeah.
don't, then we'll
And you know.
tear all your shrubs down.
We'd need to check out in financial regs whether that would be okay, but if there's precedent in other places, it seems like it might need a tweak to financial.
Well, I found out how it works, because my friend's got a bakery in Albury and she got the grant. And I think it was like a pastel green colour and your writing's got to be black and, do you know what I mean?
I sort of focused my thoughts yet, but the whole thing about traffic and speed, I feel sure there's something we can and should be doing. I'm not just clear what that is.
So if you,
And maybe
shall I
we'll have
search how
something.
much it is for 20 side meters?
I just feel there's something we could do there.
Yeah, no
And
problem.
perhaps we ought to have,
As long as it's not
Somebody
another
in place.
survey, another report
No.
for nothing at the end of it.
you know, something a bit more concrete than that. We've talked about it for long enough. So, if anyone's any more thoughts on budget, that'd be useful.
Can Rich check the legality of whether we can actually give grants to businesses?
He can probably tell you off the top of his head, but I can't because I'm not competent. You see.
I'm not sure you can give grants to businesses, but
Officially
for
qualified.
aesthetic reasons you might be able to. You know, if it's like a conservation thing. But I
I
don't
mean,
know.
there may be a loophole.
No, I don't like loopholes. Not,
If they came to us for a grant,
making me
we'd
sweat now.
consider
If
it.
there's a precedent elsewhere,
If there's precedent, then
Yeah.
you can generally kind of mirror what they are doing.
In Donna on Cheltenham Parish Council.
I think she goes to meetings.
Yeah, that's what I think. She
I don't
was,
think she's
well,
on the
she
council.
went though to a meeting. We'll ask Donna. I'll do it now.
Right, item 76, last item there. Publicising the work of the Home Valley Parish Council. Have you anything that we,
Yes, please. I picked these up this afternoon.
on earth is that?
It's our lovely event flyers. There's a box of them down there if you could take a stash and distribute them to any public buildings that you're going to, the pub, to the chippy, to the community centre, to the church, anywhere that you happen to be. Totties. Yes. Absolutely. I've got some bigger ones as well that I will put up on the posters. So if anybody wants to do any postering for me as well, that would be super.
Who did you get to do then?
The printing was Enterprise, who I usually use because I can drive past them on the way to school. I did the artwork.
I find Enterprise quite good.
Yeah,
Enterprise are good.
I only put the order in on Friday. They said I could pick them up this afternoon, so I was quite pleased with that.
And more important, it's local.
It's local
What
and
do we call
it's
it?
on the way to school. Sorry,
What would we call that one? The lady that deals.
Luanda.
Yes.
Yeah, she's great.
Yes, it is.
She's been really helpful.
I think that's it. Thank you very much.
Well done.
Well done, thanks for that, my husband making the won't be up till 9 o'clock. Having a right wind around me. Brushing tea.
Just make sure you make plenty of noise before you go in.